Michelle Bridges, aka. Is that all? Any other names for you? I don't know. Superstar. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here speaking with you.
Yes.
I've known you for so many years,
Yes.
and it's a really important topic. So thank you for opening up the doors to speak about it.
Oh, look, I think it is important. And look, Liz, as I was saying to Michelle before we press play, we haven't really done much perimenopause or menopause on this podcast because in many ways, perhaps a year or two ago, we didn't want to alienate people because there was such a taboo around menopause. But I love it that in the past 6 months to a year, everyone's talking about it and you're creating programs about it. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it really is, because there was such a shrouded secrecy, taboo, shame, a lot of shame. Oh, I'm getting old. That's a shameful thing. Hell, it's not. First of all, guess what? We get older. to media and society out there, get over it.
We look different. We show up differently.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. And, I really feel like we are coming into this incredible era that I feel very privileged to sort of be seeing, where it's sort of we're losing the shackles of, certain taboo topics, this being one of them, and to be able to celebrate women in their 40s, 50s, 60s and beyond, it's really important, because a lot of women feel as though they take a back seat suddenly when they get to this age group. And that to me is so sad, but also what a loss. Like, these women have earned their stripes. They've earned their scars. They've been around the block a few times. They know what's up. And so they've got a lot to offer the younger generations, a lot. So I just, I feel very strongly, you can hear in my voice, I feel very strongly that I don't want to see women in my age bracket or older feeling as though they're lost to society because they've got too much importance.
Oh, I'm with you. I feel that, I follow a lot of women in their, 50s, 60s, 70s on social media now, and I love seeing my feed filled with all these grey-haired, wrinkly, these beautiful souls, and it's just
it's good.
Refreshing.
Yeah, it is. It's really good. So I actually feel very empowered talking about this topic, talking about perimenopause and menopause. I feel extraordinarily blessed that I got to work with a group of incredible women, experts in their field around perimenopause and menopause, doctors who really know their shit, which is like powerful. One of my favourite ones, Dr. Margaret Rendelman, she's a psychosexual health specialist, and she's this gorgeous lady who sat down next to me, and we start having the interview, and next minute she's talking about being vagina ready and vaginal dryness and all the wonderful vibrators that you can get out there with these beautiful pastel colours and soft, lovely textures. Meanwhile, my cameraman's nearly on the floor. And she also works in relationships.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
She was an absolute you should get her in.
Actually, I might.
You should
we'll
get her
her
in.
number
She's
after
so
this.
good.
Yeah.
But she also works in counselling and relationships, and she gave such profound advice for women who are either in a relationship or not in a relationship, but certainly those that are in a relationship for 15, 20, 25 years. Some of the information that she gave was really powerful. So this is an all-encompassing, holistic approach. And a lot of people might be thinking, it's just going to be banging on about weight loss and banging on about exercise and banging on about nutrition, which, yes, I am going to be banging on about.
Yes, we're going to ask you about that.
Yes,
All
we're
of
going
that.
there.
Yeah.
But we're also going to other places as well.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. Well, I know you're not a doctor, but can you talk to us a bit about, through your experience?
Okay, my personal
Your
experience.
personal experience, working with these people on your new program, some key things that happen to us during menopause.
Okay,
and why? Yeah.
So perimenopause is the transition into menopause, and so that starts where you will potentially have symptoms such as irregular periods. They're on, they're off, they're up, they're down, they're heavy, they're light, they're late, they're not late. then you'll potentially have symptoms such as the hot flashes that you've heard people talk about, sleep disturbances that could be.
Yeah, that's a big one, isn't it?
Yes.
I feel like I hear a lot of people sharing their experiences around that.
I did a whole chapter on sleep, which was really interesting. But we get the sleep disturbances possibly because of joint pain. I know that was for me. I was having, my hip was aching in the nighttime and I'd wake up, or I would have night sweats, which I would wake up and like gross myself out and have to go change my pajamas, and then I'm awake. So then my rest of the day is a hot mess, literally. So I don't particularly have suffered from hot flashes as much, but night sweats was definitely one for me, and joint pain. Brain fog, which some ladies can find really upsetting and start to have them going down the rabbit hole of, is this early signs of dementia? And, so there's symptoms that can come and go for ladies. There's some ladies will get them much more severe than others. But something that I really learned from my experts, the word holistic kept coming up. Every single one of them used it. And so what it means is that it's a multifaceted approach, and it's going to be a bit of trial and error. But the more knowledge you have, the more open-minded and open-eyed you're going to go into this transition. So, this is stuff I wish I'd known in my 40s, so that I would have...
And even 30s. I think it can start as young as 35 for some women.
It can. In fact, Dr. Kelly Teagle, who is a rock star in this area, in fact, I did a telehealth seminar with her off the back of doing...
Okay, we might have to get her on too.
Yeah,
I'm just going to pick apart all your
experts.
experts.
Yeah. Get them in. I've forgotten what I was going to say. There's brain fog.
Can we take this moment?
We're having a brain fog moment.
This is living proof that Perry can affect smart, intelligent, switched on women. Now, we were talking... Now I can't even remember what we're talking about.
I mean, God, that happens. That used to happen to me even before I had perimenopause, I think. But yeah, Dr. Kelly Teagle,
Holistic,
yes, that's it. So it's an all-encompassing approach. So you're going to be looking at, your blood work. You're going to be looking at, great if you can get a bone density scan. I'm due for one in a week, so I want to see where my bone density is at. Heart health, cholesterol, really important stuff. Obviously, we're going to be looking at your nutrition and the types of food that is really, really good at this point in your life. And that my menopause method, the nutrition plan, is based all around it.
Let's talk more about that later. I'd like to delve into that a bit.
Yeah. We're obviously going to look at exercise. We're going to look at menopause hormone therapy, MHT. It used to be called HRT. Now they're calling it MHT. Either way you want to call it, it's hormone replacement therapy, which has been given a really bad rap in the 80s, and a lot of that has been debunked now. Now there's a lot of women, I didn't know that. I always thought, if you'd go on that stuff, you could get breast cancer. So I'm going to stay right away from that.
No, I think they've proved that big study in the US absolutely
yes. BS. And Dr. Kelly Teagle talks about that as well. So it's a very much a holistic approach, and you kind of, I want to sort of say, you're going to be the CEO of your life. You need to maybe do a little bit of an audit and look at, what's been going on in your lifestyle for maybe the last decade. Because the other thing that really hit me profoundly doing this program was, yes, menopause is a bitch. Yes, the symptoms suck, but I think menopause has been given a bad rap. And I really want to reframe the way in which we look at menopause, the lens through which we look at it, and offer the idea, the concept, have a think about it, see if it fits you, that, here we go again.
You know what, this is gold.
That.
Okay, let's keep going.
Some of this, I'm going to get there. Some of this has been a long time in the making. Some of your health issues potentially could have been a long time in the making, and then along comes menopause and kicks you in the butt, making it even more profound for you. So I just feel like we need to take a different approach. We need to take a different look and not feel that it's a jail sentence, but rather it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity. You're at a crossroads. You can't probably live the same lifestyle that you did in your 20s, even in your 30s.
Nor do you want to.
That's right, of course. But this is a crossroads now. We're going to head into a new exciting chapter, period free, can I just say? Can I get a whoop whoop?
I'm looking forward to that.
And you want to go into this next chapter with all those people around you that you love, being able to offer the best version of yourself in this new chapter. You know, you're now living in a life, a time of your life where you don't give a shit about what other people think.
Have you, just digressing for a minute, there's this a US guy. He's called Chip Connolly, and he runs the Modern Elder Academy or something like that. Anyway, he describes midlife as a time where you lose the ego and live more in soul. And
I
what
love
you were
that.
saying just summed that up for me, because that is exactly what it is. You leave the ego behind and you just immerse yourself in your soul.
Yeah, I love that.
And,
I'm going to follow that guy.
I will share some of his
Yeah.
wisdom with you. So, yeah, I find what you are talking about is just so empowering for so many women, whether they're hitting menopause, whether they're still 10 years out from menopause or beyond.
Yeah, it's because we've been almost schooled in the train of thought that menopause is like the worst thing that's going to happen to you. You're going to lose your body, you're going to lose your mind,
Sex life.
you're going to lose your sex life, and you're going to become, you know, a hot mess.
Yeah.
And I don't particularly want to say that about menopause to younger women and having them think, oh my God, this is going to be the worst time of my life. I want to reframe it. I really do. And I want women to know that there is so much support out there for them, that they don't have to go through this kind of a struggle without knowing that some of their symptoms can be alleviated, relieved, minimized through this type of holistic approach.
I just want to pick your brain a bit about exercise, because that's kind of your
my
wheelhouse. That's your thing. Symptoms of peri and menopause, how do they affect, well, not only your training, but how can they affect your training, and how can we use exercise to help us through this time?
Look, I'm a believer that exercise is going to help you through all parts of your life, all your chapters. Like, it just is a staple. But it's absolutely a great time in your life to get yourself moving if you haven't been already. And the reasons are, well, there's research. You don't have to look to me. You can just look to the science and the facts that say women who are moderate to high intensity activity will have potentially reduced menopausal symptoms than a woman who has a low activity. Now, that's not me saying what I think. That's science saying the fact. Exercise is, you know, for anybody who is an exerciser, it's so good for your mind as well as your body. But let's just talk about the body. Right now, in perimenopause and menopause, your progesterone levels and your estrogen levels are declining. And so what is potentially happening, and I say potentially because it's going to happen for more women than other women or less women than other, you know, it's very different for every individual. But bone density is critical here. And a lot of women think, oh, that's a bone density, osteoporosis, that's an old lady's thing. I have to worry about that when I'm in my 80s. No. Your time starts now. When you get to your 60s, 70s and 80s, you're kind of
Too late?
pushing
Yep.
the proverbial uphill. So now is the time to be looking at things like bone density or like heart health, and exercise is like pivotal in that, and which is why in the menopause method, the exercises or the exercise structure has weight-bearing exercise in it, whether it be body weight or if you're picking up something like a dumbbell, that just ups the ante even better and triggers a response in your body to help strengthen your bones. Basic.
And you've involved more yoga, Pilates and breath work.
I have.
Talk to us about this.
Okay, so the idea of having yoga, and I've got a
And
silver
you do
fox.
yoga now, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
Not very well.
No judgment in yoga, remember?
The yoga instructor that I do his class, Silver Fox Mark Moon, love him.
Oh, actually, he is also coming on the podcast soon.
Oh, nice. Well, I do his class and I was like, this is good and I really should have this in the program.
Yeah.
So I asked him if he would do it and he's like, yeah. So there's lots of reasons around that, but one of which is to kind of I guess, bring women back to their soul, as you said earlier, to help with anxiety, which can be a symptom of perimenopause and menopause, depression, another symptom that's potentially there, and just that sense of self, sense of calm, an opportunity to kind of step away from the world for an hour, 45 minutes, and center and ground yourself.
Let's just talk quickly about the nutrition aspect before we go. What has changed for you, like in terms of your eating style, or what have you learned, in peri and menopause? Have you switched up your own diet?
You have.
Yeah.
I've really minimized my carbohydrates now. Like I used to have a lot more when I was training a lot harder. I've brought my diet down to more low carb, which is what's in the Menopause Method nutrition plan. And I've upped the Mediterranean diet, which, you hear a lot about it, and the research backs it that this is probably the best form of eating. So, you've obviously omega-3s, your oily fish, your green leafy vegetables, none of that's changed for me. I'm just up it. I'm really making sure to look at my pre and probiotics, whether you either take it in a tablet form or you take it through, your food form like kombucha or kimchi, or even if you appreciate dairy. I know some people don't, but some people do. Yogurt, and sort of really keeping that in the back of my mind of how I'm eating. It's not that much different. I probably don't eat as much as I used to. Like I don't move as much as I used to be honest. But I feel that I probably don't need as much as I used to. But certainly making sure I have protein in my diet. Again, looking at portion sizes. Protein, for example, should be the palm of your hand. And if you look at the palm of your hand and then you look at the palm of of your significant other, that person might have a much bigger palm of their hand. So the portion sizes should relate to that. Lisa Donaldson, who is my head dietitian on 12WBT and very much across putting together the Menopause Method diet. She said, pasta should be the size of your fist. And I said, that's going to crush a lot of people, Lisa. She said, but that's a reality.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, certainly portion sizes have certainly changed for me as well.
So with this more soulful Michelle Bridges.
Oh, God.
How does the next couple of years look like for you? I feel like you've got this renewed sense of energy and you're looking forward and you're at a good place in life.
Yeah, look, and I'll be really honest with you. I probably wasn't for a while there, and that was probably during the years of the onset of perimenopause. And I remember at one point thinking, I wasn't training as well. I'd noticed a weight distribution changed. I remember thinking one day, oh well, this is what happens. And then I thought, hang on a minute. Did I just wave the white flag for a millisecond? Oh my God, Michelle, don't even. And it was a real wake up moment. I was like, what? God, if that's me talking in my own head, ladies out there saying to themselves, and I was like, right, that's it. Nah, this is not happening. Not happening on my watch, not happening for me, and it's not happening for all my ladies out there either.
I like it. Michelle, thank you for coming on Extra Healthy-ish and inspiring us all.
Thank you.